Welcome to A to Z Decodes. If you're out here in Arizona, or no matter where you're located, I break down these stories and I show interesting connections, patterns, and such that could lead you to question why these, events take place, right? Why they hit the trending news, why they're the center of attention. Um, yeah, I'm out here in Mesa, Arizona. So drop in the comment, let me know where you're at. And it doesn't matter where you are around the world. I appreciate you being here. So we have a story here. State trooper injured in crash involving suspected drunk driver in Buckeye, Arizona. Okay. So anybody out there in Buckeye, um, let me know. Right? So, and I'm not saying these events don't happen or this didn't happen. Okay? It just, this puts a focus on like this language that we speak. Okay? And there's no numerical values attached to these letters. So I'll use this gematria calculator right here. And you see there's 4 base ciphers with the alphabet and the language we speak here. And I'll show you some number connections as always. Okay, so we'll I'll play this news clip. There was just one news clip that I could find on this story, but we'll go ahead and play it now.
Developing story we first brought to you as a Fox 10 News alert late last night. DPS trooper hurt in a crash in the West Valley. Take a look at this video.
I was gonna see if I could make this. There we go. And let me start it over.
Developing story we first brought to you as a Fox 10 News alert late last night. DPS trooper hurt in a crash in the West Valley. Take a look at this video. Happened in Buckeye, I-10 near Verrado Way. DPS says the trooper was parked 20 feet off the highway on a dirt shoulder doing a little bit of paperwork when a truck pulling a vehicle trailer went off the road, rear-ending the trooper's vehicle, pushing it about 60 feet.
That trooper has been transported by the fire department for suspected head injuries, and he is currently at a hospital being evaluated to determine the extent of his injuries. The driver of the at-fault vehicle, the white Dodge Ram, was uninjured in the collision. However, he has been arrested for driving while under the influence of alcohol.
No lanes of traffic were blocked during the investigation.
Okay, so the trooper hospitalized. They say the driver not hurt. Looks like a DUI situation here, right? Okay, so I mean it seems simple enough, right? And these things happen, It's not out of the norm really, okay? But I'm going to show you these patterns and some of these connections here. And it's been about a week since I've been back on here. I don't like to go that long. I probably just I just overlooked because I have another channel, Daily Decodes 812, where I do these daily. Okay, so I probably could have got this to y'all a little bit sooner, or another story, but look at this. Okay, so this is that code that I'm talking about, and you see, look at drunk driver, you get 72 like Buckeye. Okay, right? State trooper injured in crash involving suspected drunk driver in Buckeye. So, a Buckeye story and a drunk driver, and we get a 72 match. And they may have said it, but let me. And this was Wednesday night, okay? This was Wednesday. So we're on so that was Wednesday the 2nd, all right? And that'll be coming up here. I just felt I needed to tell you right now. So this was 4/2 April 2nd, okay? But check that out right there. Okay? Drunk driver 72, Buckeye 72. You get a match. And there's a lot of numbers out there, right? And it's right there in the title, Drunk Driver and Buckeye, but it lands on the 72. And this happens a lot on this channel because if you didn't know, now you know. Arizona, the 48th state, and it's a 48-day span from the Arizona birthday, which is Valentine's Day, to this collision. From start to end on the dates, Arizona's birthday, Valentine, to this collision, a 48-day span. You see that? With Arizona being the 48th state. They say the trooper was completing paperwork from an earlier incident, and he was hit by this truck carrying, like, there was like a trailer hooked onto it. Paperwork equals 48. Arizona equals 84, which is the same numbers, just reversed, right? You see that? Isn't that amazing? If this happened, or whatever, right? I mean, it happened. Whatever the story is, um, is it legitimate? Did something make this happen? Uh, to keep some kind of sick pattern going, or some kind of sick history repeating? Or did this just happen and it's all organic, and then it exposes this language and this number system, right? Because the 48-day span from Arizona's birthday to this collision, and these are just main things in the article, and I'm getting this to you without going really deep, right? I'm just major things in the article. That's it. Paperwork 48. Okay? What? Like who, what, when, where, why? You know what I'm saying? Paperwork 48, Arizona 84 to go with that 48-day span. Okay, and this collision was on 4/2, April 2, and Arizona equals 42. And remember, it's just the 4 base ciphers. Okay, and Arizona syncs up with the date of the collision. And this is Arizona's last birthday. Okay, they were added, granted statehood, Valentine's Day, February 14, 1912. The last birthday, this last February 14, the 45th day of the year. Look at how collision equals 45. And you get 54, the reverse. And that's how they put it right in the article right there. A collision. That's how they label it. You see? So I think these stories, they just come out. I don't think anybody writes these stories. I just think they come out by this code here. Okay? But yeah, it says collision. And collision's got the 45, like the 45th day of the year, birthday for Arizona, 54 the reverse. And I thought this was really interesting here. Look at Trooper 44. State Trooper 55. So that's kind of like 45, right? You see that? And that's all in that same reduction cipher, 45, 44, and 55. You see that? Oh, I guess I had it right there. State trooper injured Wednesday night in a collision involving a suspected drunk driver. And this was the trooper was parked on the right shoulder of westbound Interstate 10 in Buckeye around 7:30 p.m. at the time of the collision. And it according to the Arizona Department of Public Safety, right? That's what they always want to tell you. You know, the police say according to the right. That's what they say, okay? A pickup truck hauling 3 vehicles on a trailer allegedly veered off the roadway and struck the trooper's vehicle. Check this out. 7:30 p.m. Around 7:30 p.m. 7-3 truck equates to 73. Okay? ABC 123. Ordinal. A truck hauling 3 vehicles. Notice how this was on the day leaving 273 days in the year. April 2nd, this collision left 273 days in the year. Truck 73 around 7:30 p.m. like 73. You reverse the 73, you get 37. Trooper 37. Wednesday 37. And Trooper and Wednesday got that 44 as well. That's pretty wild, isn't it? Because as I record this right now, yesterday was April 4/4. So another eerie connection here, and this trooper hospitalized. We don't get off on anybody being hurt. We simply break down these stories. I don't know. I always say we. Um, I'm not the only one who does this on this channel, and we should get more people need to see this. Okay, there's a lot of BS videos on YouTube. People just giving their opinion. I mean, you could say this is my opinion, I guess, but I'm showing you facts. These are facts, okay, that need to be looked at, okay? So the trooper hospitalized. They say the driver wasn't injured. Drunk drivers, what they're saying. But look at that, man. 73, 273, 730 like 73. 37, 37. The 44 match. Okay. Yesterday, Friday, 2 days after this collision, 2 days later is 4/4. So you see how these numbers hit. And if you look at my Daily Decodes 812 channel, you'll see recent stories where this 44 lands super heavy also. And this is undeniable. You heard in the video, Verado Way. Excuse me if you hear the dog snoring in the background. Verado Way. And look at it right there. The crash occurred around 7:30 near Verado Way. Look at Verado Way in the reduction cipher 51. They say near Interstate 10. Westbound Interstate 10. Interstate 10 51. Trooper was completing paperwork from an earlier incident. Paperwork 51, all in the language and the same reduction cipher. This happens on a 51 and 15 date numerology. The 1 and the 5 always hits heavy with Arizona because Arizona equals 105 like 15. Okay, look at those 51s. Wow. Look at those 51s right there. And you see the reduction cipher breakdown right there? 26 letters. Okay, but they all need to be single digits. So, the first 9 in going forwards, one, obviously that's a numerical value with the first 9 letters. J is the 10th. That's when you need to, that's reduction, straight up numerology. 1 plus 0 is 1. K, the 11th letter. 1 plus 1 is 2, and so on. Add up the single digits. That's what reduction is. And then when you see reverse reduction, that'll be the alphabet in reverse, the same method. Q would be the 10th. But look at that. 51, 51, 51. Verado Way, paperwork, Interstate 10, all in that reduction cipher. And on the 51 and 15 date numerology. Okay? Right? And you see that's everything entered right there. Those 51s came in clutch with this breakdown. Okay? I'm going to play that video clip again. And then that'll wrap up this breakdown. So if you want to hang out, check this video clip again.
Developing story we first brought to you as a Fox 10 News alert late last night. DPS trooper hurt in a crash in the West Valley. Take a look at this video. Happened in Buckeye, I-10 near Verado Way. DPS says the trooper was parked 20 feet off the highway on a dirt shoulder doing a little bit of paperwork when a truck pulling a vehicle trailer went off the road, rear-ending the trooper's vehicle, pushing it about 60 feet.
That trooper has been transported by the fire department.
See, and notice how you get all of those details with these stories about 60 feet, right? A truck with a vehicle trailer carrying 3 vehicles. Not saying the numbers always hit, but they give you all of those little details, and most of the time, the majority of them are gonna sync up with other aspects and other information connected with the story, you see. So what's up with this language and this number system? Once again,
Department for suspected head injuries, and he is currently at a hospital being evaluated to determine the extent of his injuries. The driver of the at-fault vehicle, the white Dodge Ram, was uninjured in the collision. However, he has been arrested for driving while under the influence of alcohol.
No lanes of traffic were blocked during the investigation.
Okay, so definitely, like I said, I'm not saying happened, didn't happen. It's just what's up with this language. Okay, we get multiple meanings for the same word. Spelling, spell casting. Remember cursive, like curses. It's like all magic. Okay? But yeah, wow, and the 48's heavy, the 51's super heavy. I mean, the Arizona birthday factors in, the date of the collision, who, what, when, where, why. Okay? That's it. Major details in the story. Not just entering every little detail. We enter the details we need, and then what are the chances these hit like that? Okay, so where are y'all at out there? Again, I'm in Mesa, and I'm going to get this information out there. They're going to put a number next to the video that makes me think all these certain people are watching. Oh, look at the views. Okay, right? I don't fall for everything. I don't believe everything, okay? So, this starts off being my hobby, being able to do this, getting this out into the universe one way or another. All right. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for the wrong reasons. I don't get off on none of this, anything negative like this. Okay. This is like probably like the greatest thing I've ever come across, this code. And, it's not always easy once you realize you're living in um, a strange world, right? Where we get these stories and history repeating. As I'm not the only one. We hear that saying, history repeats. So does this stuff legitimately happen, all organic? Is there some kind of pattern that it keeps us in a certain state, that keeps maybe people above us in control? It's like, oh, we need this story, and it's like pick and choose. I don't know, but that's the breakdown. A to Z decodes Arizona. There's always more information, but that's what I have here, okay? State trooper injured in a crash involving suspected drunk driver in Buckeye. Shout out wherever you're at around the world. A to Z decodes Arizona. Until next time, peace.